Joining the Observer on the air live couldn't be easier. First, visit bit.ly/obguest. Once you click on that, you'll wind up on this screen. Then, you'll have to choose the webcam that you want to use. You can see there's a list of them here. And once you choose the right webcam, you'll then have to choose the microphone that you want to use. It's all very simple. Then type in your name where it says your name here. And once you have finished typing your name, click the join button. Then you'll be in the queue to be on the air. It's that easy. Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Knessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 20th day of February in the year 2024. Sure, glad you joined us today, no matter where it is you are in the country. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful day today. It is absolutely beautiful out here. And as we begin the broadcast, we say hello to our friends Carmen De Jesus. Carmen, nice to see you. And John Drimkowski, who is in North Darlington. It's always a pleasure to see you and anybody else who may be in the chat room lingering but not commenting. As you do each and every Tuesday, you welcome me into your home so that I can bring you this week's news, and we will bring up this week's newspaper. And it is time, believe it or not, for St. Patrick's Day. We're getting closer and closer to the parade, which is on the 10th day of March, Sunday at 1 o'clock. And this week we profile the three marshals who are part of the parade. Of course, the Grand Marshal is Kearney's Bill Dow, and he is joined with Deputy Grand Marshals Stanley Titterington and Gloria Spence as the deputies, and it's going to be a great day. It really will be. It always is such a fun day in West Hudson where the three communities get together and march along in the big parade on St. Patrick's Day, even though it's going to be a little bit earlier than usual. I shouldn't say earlier than usual, but earlier than most of the time, because it usually is, of course, on the second weekend of the year. Now, this is a big surprise for me. I didn't expect this was going to happen, but I have got a guest to join me, and I'm going to pull him up on the air in a second, so just bear with me in a moment. I'm going to take this off the screen. I wasn't anticipating this, but it has happened nonetheless, so Billy, just bear with me for a second. I will put your screen up if I can find it, and I don't know where it is. Just bear with me. Here it is. And he is coming all the way in from Arizona. It's just my dear friend Bill Scarterfield, who I have not seen in a long time. Billy, how are you, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. What's going on, bud?
Nothing much. Getting ready, getting scheduled for my hip replacement on Thursday.
Oh my goodness, I did not know about that. So you're going in Thursday. At what? Tell me a little bit.
No. I have to go in. That's when they're going to schedule me. It
Okay.
won't be till April, probably at least, maybe
So
even May.
so what's going on? Like, have you been having trouble walking? Like, tell me a
Yeah,
little bit about it. Yeah.
yeah. It's it just it got worse over the last year, and it's just getting old, man.
It happens, right? To the best of us, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Just remember, I was in my 50s when I met you.
yeah, I was in my 30s, so it's been a while. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! So now, did you watch the whole game on Saturday? I haven't got a chance to get to this yet, but we'll eventually get to it. Did you watch the whole Devils Flyers game on Saturday?
Until the Devils scored in the third period.
What do
I
you
knew
what
they would.
What do you think about these outdoor games? Is it too much? Did you enjoy it up until the end, or what? Like, what kind of a reaction do you have to this?
No, I like it, but there's two ways basically to like it. Either like the first one, Pittsburgh and Buffalo in a snowstorm,
Right.
or the way the Devils and Flyers game was, perfect conditions, no wind. Those are the only two ways to watch.
Yeah. The day after, when the Rangers played the Islanders, I don't know if you caught any of it, but it was extra sunny. They had to wait until there was a
They
cloud cover.
waited 35 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and those conditions were very unfavorable, so not as enjoyable, I guess, the second day. But we don't
No,
care
I
since
didn't watch. I didn't watch the third period. Did they switch sides because of the wind in the third period?
I don't remember if
Halfway
they
through.
did. Yeah, but I do know that well, they did it. Obviously, they did in overtime because that's the rule anyway. But were they supposed to switch at the 10-minute mark or something? Or
Yeah, they came up with that like 3 years in. If the weather's nasty, like if it's really windy you can tell like if you're skating against the wind, they want exactly half of the game for each team against against the wind.
Yeah, I can't. I got to be honest with you. I turned it off for a while because the Islanders were up 5-3, and I'm thinking, okay, this is pretty much over. And then the stupid Rangers came back and tied it, and then won in overtime with the goal net off, which is just
Yeah.
crazy. But I guess that's the rule, right? If the defending player knocks it off, then that's the rule. But that was still
They,
bizarre.
they have to. I I'm not sure if they have if the rule is they have to watch the replay and see if it crosses the line before it gets knocked off. I don't know.
No, but the
I'm
Rangers,
not sure anymore.
I
Doesn't
don't know.
happen very often, so
No, I don't think
there's
I
no
ever
reference
remember
for it.
seeing it. Yeah, that was the
There's no
first.
reference for it really.
No, but of course the Rangers skate away with a 6-5 win. Now, what is the temperature like in Arizona where you are right now? It's like 40
Right
here.
now,
Yeah.
give me a sec. I'll tell you. Well, here I'll tell you. I'll look on my phone.
Okay.
My phone says it's 67 right now, but it depends where you are. In some places, it could be 70, 71. It depends where you are in the valley.
Now, is that cold for Arizona, or is that
No,
still like really nice
normal.
for February? It's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah.
In fact, by when spring training starts, it usually starts to be close to the 70s. At game time at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay.
Right.
Come March, it's in the 80s. The end of March, it's in the 90s.
Wow. And then
And it's every year. It's my goal not to turn my air conditioner on until April.
April. Oh,
Yeah,
what
and more often than not, I have to give in.
I would love to have that option of turning on the air conditioning in April. And of course, I've
Uh,
walked away from it, so I have nobody to blame but myself, right? I mean, really.
well, no, yeah, but that's different. That's humidity in Florida is different than here.
Oh, God. Yeah. You have a drier air, correct?
Yeah, it's totally different. Like during like July and August is monsoon season. You heard that, right? You've
Right.
heard that term. All right. Well, if it hits 40 when during monsoon season, if it hits 45 or 50% humidity, people around here cry.
Uh huh.
It's
Oh,
humid. So that'll tell you that's nothing in Jersey.
no, yes. Yeah. That's a typical summer day. That's like typical. Now,
Yeah, when I was a mailman in Jersey, I would pray for weather like that.
where were you a mailman in Jersey? I don't remember that.
South Orange, Maplewood, and but mostly in Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill. Okay, that's right. Because you moved south when you were in your teens, right? Was that when it was? Or
No, no, I was 8 years old. July
eight?
1958 is when we moved.
And you're one of the few people in South Jersey who knows that it's called Taylor Ham, because there was a big discussion about it on the Devils broadcast and the Flyers broadcast on Saturday.
It's ridiculous. There's on Facebook. There's lots of Jersey groups, and they just go. Somebody always has to bring up Taylor ham, pork roll, and basically, if you live above Trenton, you call it Taylor ham. If you live below Trenton, you call it pork roll. That's what it's like to me.
Right.
But I was born. The first time I ate it, I was like 1 or 2, and I was born in just outside. I was born in Orange, and I lived in Union until I was 8, and then my dad got transferred to Philly, and we moved to Cherry Hill. That's where I grew up.
That's it. So you were a
But I was still
transplant.
Taylor ham.
Yeah, still Taylor Ham. They were actually talking about it Sunday in the Islander Ranger game. since it was
I
still in
know.
New Jersey. So, um, on our way out here, how you doing otherwise? Everything good?
Yeah,
Great,
I'm
great.
surprised these people are sitting around, hanging around, listening to me.
Listen, yeah, everybody's listening to you, but they know because they know you're my friend too. I appreciate that very much, and I hope we can do this again soon. Okay.
Yeah, well, just tell them that this is how we met doing this.
That's right. In fact, you're not going to believe this.
Jovial.
Zach Gelb was supposed to come on with me today, but we had some difficulties when he started talking. I couldn't hear him, and we were going to do something similar, talk about the game, and that kind of reminded me of the good old days when we used to have troubles all the time, back in 2010, 2011, and there were so many technical issues that we dealt with on a regular basis. But it's
Yeah.
kind of improved, huh?
Yeah, I mean, look at the mic you have now.
Yeah, seriously. Had nothing like this. It was like a tiny little handheld back in the day. So,
Oh, yeah.
listen, I want to wish you the best of luck too. So, good luck with the appointment on Thursday. Let me know how it goes. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know after I have it done because
Okay.
I already know it'll be scheduled in the morning. By the afternoon, I'll have me up walking.
Okay. Good. That's what I like to hear. But hopefully talk to you before then. Thanks for calling in, Billy.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
buddy.
Thanks, Kev.
Thank you, brother. Okay. That is Bill Scarterfield. He, of course, was my one of my biggest supporters. In fact, I wouldn't say biggest support, one of my biggest supporters, the biggest supporter that I had back in the day. He's still here with us, though.
It the only way when you did that, it cut
Right.
me off completely, and I couldn't watch unless I just hit rejoin, and now here I am again.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna have to watch it on the regular something else. You're on the broadcast screen right now.
Oh,
So
okay. Let me get off then.
okay, thanks, buddy. That's Bill Scarterfield. But he was a huge, huge supporter of mine back in the days when I was on Shovio.com. So I really appreciate him buzzing in today. Did not expect that at all. So that was certainly enjoyable. I'm going to get back quickly to this week's edition of the Observer, and we move along to this piece. And before, actually, you know what? Before I do that, I didn't get a chance to welcome everybody in. Uh, Carol Manley is here with us. My Aunt Annie Troy is here with us as well. She's watching from Middletown. June Hearn is here with us. Mama June, thank you for joining us. Larry Hanlon is also here with us. And of course, Billy's here as well. So thank you for everybody who has logged on today. I very much appreciate that. Ivan Anderson is here too from Canada watching us. So we're represented well over the country. Billy will remember Ivan. Ivan, of course, was a firefighter. But Ivan, you got to tell me whether you are. I'm not sure if you're still a firefighter, but Ivan was a firefighter. We got to know each other through Shovio also, and a mutual respect for all the things that happened on 9/11. So it's good to see you, buddy. Thank you very much. Melanie Ryan says today's the last day to get journal ads in for the parade. And Annie Troy says she misses me, and I miss her too, my dear aunt. Thank you, Auntie. Good to see you. In Belleville, this cat group got started because there was a few people who really wanted to make a difference for feral cats. And apparently there's a big number of colonies. And when you have big number of cat colonies, that means they need a lot of food and they need a lot of people to get the food to the people. And so this woman, Jan, decided that she was going to get together with a bunch of her friends, and they have put a whole program together to feed the cats, but they just don't have enough people to get it done on a regular basis. So this is particularly for people in Nutley, Belleville. If you're a cat person and you want to volunteer, we have all the details in this week's edition of the Observer. I hope you'll check it out because they're really putting in a Herculean effort to get this off the ground and to get the cats fed, but they do desperately need help. So please, if you can, check pages 2 and 3 if you are so inclined. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who would be willing to volunteer. You know, they use Len Twist as their example. We all know that Len Twist is, in this particular area especially, an extremely important person when it comes to the TNR program that basically got its start here in Kearney and has spread out to so many different communities. There is a TNR community in Belleville as well. So they do trap, neuter, and return the cats in these feral colonies. So keep that in mind as well. But Leonard's really the guy who got this started in New Jersey, and it continues to flourish in different parts of the state. So if you have a chance, if you're so inclined, they are in dire need of help in Belleville. This was something that happened last week. There was a fatal hit and run in Nutley, and it was really disturbing because the family was absolutely devastated. I don't know if any of you saw the story on the news. It was on Channel 2 especially, and the family was just distraught by what happened. The victim was only 22 years old, just horrifying, and it was very, very sad to see. But fortunately, the guy who hit the 22-year-old was arrested over the weekend. Thank God, because it was just disgusting, really, what happened there. Just such a young life extinguished so early on in his life, and I'm really certainly happy, and I'm sure the family is obviously that they caught the guy who did this, and it's just unfortunate that the 22-year-old lost his life. He's a Patterson resident, but this guy is behind bars right now. You can read about it on page number 4. And there was another incident too in Kearney with a lot of hit and runs. This guy was on a moped, and he was hit in the area of Harrison Avenue and Bergen Avenue. And I had a chance to speak with Deputy Police Chief Scott McPhee last week, and he tells me that this guy was pinned under the moped. It was a larger size moped, so it was on the verge of being a motorcycle. And I believe it was smoldering or about to catch fire, and a Good Samaritan came over and lifted the bike off the guy who was driving it. And if he didn't do that, the chances are he would not have survived. Now, he's certainly not in any kind of condition, really, any kind of good condition right now. But his life was saved by this group of Good Samaritans who pulled the bike off of him. And I don't understand. You hit somebody and people just run like that, and you have an obligation to stay. But there has not been an arrest in this case yet. And I know the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office is investigating this crime. And hopefully, in that case, they will find somebody very, very soon. Just very unfortunate, but at least something good came out of it. And then, of course, this is something that we talked about recently in another edition of the Observer Live. The Chinese consulate sends a letter to Mayor Mike Melham in Belleville because Mayor Melham was going to raise the Tibetan flag. And guess what? He said, get lost. No way. We're raising the flag. We're not going to be intimidated by China. And Mayor Melham tells me that he's had a lot of phone calls and emails from people all over the world saying, good for you, well done. And we will certainly echo that for Mayor Melham because that was something else. I mean, you think the Chinese consulate getting involved with something going on in Essex County, right here in Belleville, and he basically said, buzz off, and he raised the flag with other members of the Belleville Township Council. So good job for Mayor Melham. Jason Bernstein has 3 sports stories this week, including this, the first ever female wrestling tournament. You can't beat that. That is great stuff. So check that out. He also has an Athlete of the Week, and we'll just show you a little glimpse of that, but you can certainly check it out on page number 12 of this week's edition of The Observer. Now, before I joined you, or when I first joined you, I had mentioned the outdoor game at MetLife Stadium. There were 2 of them this weekend. The Devils beat the Rangers by a 6-3 score, and the New York Islanders were defeated by the New York Rangers. My Uncle Mike Slane is here, and I will tell. He asked me if I like the stadium games, and I do. I just do. I think they're a lot of fun. I'm glad they don't have them as much as. The last time the Devils played was 10 years ago. The Rangers have played in a couple of more, and that it's sparing is certainly epic because it really makes it special and important. There were 150,000 combined people at MetLife Stadium for hockey games. What are the chances of that? I mean, that's just absolutely surreal. and I enjoyed watching the Devils play, and I know the Rangers fans, including my uncle Michael, who was here, enjoyed that game because the Islanders were up 5-3, and wind up losing 6-5. And the Rangers, as Billy said, have played in the most, and the Flyers the third most, and that of course is, you got to put teams in there that are going to draw, and that's exactly what those two teams do on a regular basis, and that's why they're in the top three of all time with those outdoor games. Now, that's going to do it for this edition of the Observer Live. I apologize that I've been stumbling a little bit, but I was caught off guard in a good way by my friend Bill Scarterfield, who joined us earlier to chime in. Haven't seen him in a long time, so it was good to see him. To all the people who are in the chat room, from Carmen De Jesus, John Drimkowski, Carol Manley, and her mother June. My Aunt Annie Troy is here as well. Melanie Ryan, Ivan Anderson, Manny Ventoso, Uncle Mugga, Billy, Mayor Dan Pronti as well. I didn't get a chance to announce that. Mayor Dan Pronti of North Arlington is also here with us, and I really appreciate all of you joining us. We will be back 1 week from today, and hopefully I won't stutter as much. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Knesset signing off for now, and we hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Take care.